closer together. Oh, anime poses.
You know we're going to need space for that, darling.
And this isn't big enough?
If it's space you're worried about, sir, the Ermengarde mansion sits on a 46-acre lot. There's plenty of room for it.
Yeah, no shit, there's plenty of room for it. 46
We
acres?
were told that the
Jesus.
original owners had a horse stable built here before, too.
The contemplative expression on Mr. Wright's face, but he doesn't say anything further. His wife, however, seems really pleased that he started to show interest, if only a little. Smile to myself. I may not completely understand how these people's minds work, but I sure as hell know how to spot a buyer with sincere interest. Score! Can't wait to tell Rose. The rest of the tour goes by without a hitch. After more than half an hour, we're able to cover almost every... Half an hour to cover every room just on the ground floor. Ooh, this is big. Funny, the first time BRC had us survey the property, I kept complaining to Rose about how big it is. Now I can't even bring myself to care, no matter how much my feet hurt. Maybe it's just the excitement over the possible sale. Well, that's an abrupt change in music and ambience. When we reach the parlour, however, an odd feeling washes over me. I start to feel small goosebumps on my skin and the feeling of being watched intensely. Whispers in my ears and shadows dancing, lurking in the corner of my vision. Dark silhouettes that are gone when I turn to look. A chill settles down my spine, making me feel sick, and I start to break out in a cold sweat. I can't do this. I need to sit down for a moment. The old ladies of the group have been requesting a break anyway. If I can just...
Excuse me? Everyone? We will be taking a 15-minute rest here before we visit the first floor. In the meantime, please help yourselves to the refreshments and snacks we've prepared. If anyone has any questions, feel free to approach me. I'd be happy to help you.
Let me guess, Hannah's going to be here almost instantaneously. I let them sit while I retreat into a quiet corner to recover. Not what you think. But yeah, look at that. That is essentially like an old-timey version of Luke and Hannah Wright. Right there. And who's this guy? Like, I couldn't understand these are all the is this like their personal detective or some shit? Don't think about it. It's not what you think. Probably just caught Becca's cold. Don't think about it. I'm left alone for a good while, the same words spilling out my lips in silent prayer, until a hand taps my shoulder.
Hello, you there?
Hello, Hannah.
Yes, ma'am?
Oh, look at you! Having to show a group around a mansion this big must be exhausting.
Okay, no need to be so condescending.
Not a problem, ma'am. I'm just doing my job.
What a hard worker! Anyway, Isabel, right?
Isabella, actually. But yes, what can I help you with, ma'am, right?
Please, just Hannah. Call me Hannah.
Hannah.
I just wanted to ask, how soon are we able to move in?
My brain completely stops. The sick feeling plaguing me is suddenly gone, replaced by utter bewilderment. Is this a joke? Looks at me expectantly as I struggle to come up with an answer.
Wait, ma'am, you see... But we haven't even negotiated a price yet, ma'am. We haven't even finished touring the rest of the mansion. A sale would be great and all, but...
She stops me from speaking any further and puts a hand on my shoulder. For a moment, her tight smile. She looks like she's tasted a particularly sour lemon.
Oh, please, sweetie, don't insult me. Money
Here you
is
go.
not a problem. And, just between you and me, this place is better off with us than with some old lady who will probably just fill it up with cats.
I see no issue with having a mansion full of cats.
I personally don't think there's anything wrong with having cats here, ma'am Hannah. I'm sure there's more than enough space here if you want pets.
Perhaps I'm still not feeling well, but really, what's wrong with cats? More importantly, why is she talking about moving in already?
I'm more of a dog person. But you see, this is going to be a gift to my darling. It's going to be our anniversary soon.
You're that rich that when you're having an anniversary, you could buy your fella a mansion. Why can't I be that rich?
And it would be so wonderful if you can secure its purchase for us. Why, I can even offer something extra if you help us out with the paperwork.
Extra.
We actually have a process for this, ma'am. I don't really think that would be necessary or appropriate.
And just what are you two lovely ladies talking about here? Leaving me and our lovely interior designer to talk here by ourselves.
You're such a creep.
What would the people think, darling?
Why's your hand on her arse?
Oh, it's just small talk, love. I was asking if she could help me with the paperwork.
I try not to wince as her nails dig into my shoulder. Can't help but send an imploring look at Miss McCullough, who only gives me an apologetic smile and shrug.
Yeah, I can give you a fact sheet and a form to fill out.
She wastes no time in picking up the papers from my hands and shuffles through the bunch. Oh man, Rose is going to be so angry so angry at me for letting her do that.
Wonderful. And Marianne, I'd really love to talk to you about those changes. You took some notes earlier, yes?
I did, Mom. But I really hope that this time...
Excellent. Hopefully you can help us out too, Isabel.
Isabella.
Yeah, it's Isabella. Bella. I know you're rich and everything, but a name's quite important.
Right. It's a lovely name, Isabel.
Slap the bitch.
It's Isabella.
Yes, that's great. We'll be more than happy to
just
put in a
doesn't
good
give a
word to your
shit.
superiors too, and...
Like, no, it's fine. Oh, it's great. The great name, Isabel.
What's this?
So, we took the note, folded it up, and then put it in with our paperwork. A look of confusion and disgust appears on her face. Turning to her husband, he merely shrugs in reply.
An interesting work of art. Not to my taste, though. I'm sorry.
Darling, Buttercup, art is a complete overstatement for this garbage. It looks like a cheap prop from a D-list horror film.
Shush, love. Let the girl do what she pleases with... what do they call this? Oh, forget about it. At the very least, it's not as... dreadful as the one art exhibit I was forced to attend last month.
I love that they're that posh that they consider anything like, oh no, it couldn't be anything like a creepy note or anything. Oh no, it's just art. Just art that we don't understand.
You should have seen it, Marianne. Even you would have been appalled.
Well, there's a backhanded compliment.
But I'm sure you'll know what to do with our walls once we get started.
I highly doubt it is as bad as you say, Ma'am. Nevertheless, you can be assured that my team will only pick whatever suits your tastes. Nothing of this chain letter sort, of course. It has to always work with a palette.
Well, joke's on you, Marianne. I found this letter inside this house, so it clearly goes with the decor.
I'm quite sure chain letters these days don't come in this form.
Maybe. My turn to be puzzled. What do they mean? Rose and I double-checked everything. Are the papers I handed not enough? I want to ask if what I did wrong. I don't want to mess this up. With the way Mom, Hannah, leading the conversation, I'm afraid that's exactly what will happen if I do interrupt
That's
her.
good to hear.
It's a really unsettling face.
See, darling, isn't she an absolute delight to work with? I can't wait to see how this place will look when she's done with it.
Oh, you don't have to tell me that, Buttercup.
Smile back on her face when she turns back to me and hands me a strange piece of
I
paper.
would still put it away if I were you, though. Otherwise, people might get the wrong impression.
You know what's even better though? It says show to 5 people or else. There's 3. I've only got to show this. Just show it to 2 more old people and then you'll be fine.
Anyway, as I was saying...
I don't hear the rest of what she says after that. I can only stare down at the paper at the letter A in my hand. The sides crinkle in my grip and my breathing grows labored. Dread quickly fills my mind.
Isabella? Are you alright?
I'm going to be back in a second. I need the loo. So, 2 ticks.
You're looking pale.
Hi, and yes, I am reading chat. I'm just trying not to interrupt as much when there's, like, dialogue actually being played. Didn't even notice when Rose's group joined us in the parlor. I want nothing more than to say, no, I'm not alright. I want to leave this place. Because I remember everything clear as day. His letter and that woman in the attic. It's
The
real.
letter. I'm sorry, I didn't know.
Careless. Been so careless. How do I even tell them without looking like I've gone mad? Should I even tell them? Rose is our friend. I don't know whether I really want to show her the letter. Don't show her.
Rose,
Marianne's has gone even further up. Incidentally, there's no relationship thing with Rose. The words are stuck in my throat. I want to tell her I really do. But she couldn't believe me? She already dismissed me earlier. The concussion, she said. It's not. There's really something in this house, in that attic, in that letter. It's going to go after us. Please believe me.
Me. Is Isabel alright?
Ma'am Hannah's voice breaks through the haze, beginning to cloud my mind. Rose is looking down on me, worry etched on her features. I didn't even notice when she removed the wrinkled paper from my hands and is pushing me down to sit on a nearby. So she just took the note from my... Not good. From the edge of my vision, I can also make out Miss McCullough asking a passing food server for a glass of water. Through it all, Mr. Wright stands in the sidelines. Although curious, he appears more inclined to watch the scene rather than help. They are all as likely to believe me as Rose does. Whatever's in this house is just a hoax, a cautionary tale for their children.
Isabella, do you need me to call that ambulance?
She offers me a drink, but I push it away. I need to get out of here before I cause an even bigger commotion, clear my head, take a breath of fresh air. Yeah, like, you went out to go get the stuff from her car, and then voluntarily came back in. Anything to take my mind off things. No one is going to believe me anyway.
No, I'm just feeling a bit out of it. Excuse me. I'll be back. I just need to catch my breath.
In my head, I mutter a quick apology and gather my stuff to make a quick exit. Doesn't matter if this place is haunted or not. If I've caused trouble, and Rose can be quite unforgiving of behaviour like this. I'm almost at the door when she catches up to me.
Isabella, wait!
The apprehension must have been quite obvious on my face, because her expression instantly shifts to something gentler, eyes softer, a fond smile spreading on her lips.
I'm not angry.
I know. I'm sorry I ruined this for you.
Yeah, but Rose is kind of set up to be like our friend. And, like, here's my issue with the whole chain letter thing. Now that they've seen it, so I have the letter in my possession, I've got to show it to 5 people. Now that they've seen it, do they each have to show it to 5 people? Or else something will happen. If I don't voluntarily show it to Rose, she hasn't seen the note, she doesn't have to hand it off to 5 other people, therefore technically she's safe? If this curse is real?
Come on, you didn't ruin anything. It's not like we haven't ran into any problems before. If we don't get a deal today, we can always try on a different day. And look.
She hesitates, completely trailing off before shifting her gaze down to her hands, a small gesture to stall. Her fingers are fiddling with a piece of Oh, no. My hands stiffen. And she gives it back, but I take it nevertheless, more as an automatic response. Just tear that shit up. I'll throw it away if I can. I have this nagging feeling that one way or another, it'll find its way back to me regardless of what I do about
Rose, this is... You have to let them know about...
I know you want us to get this sale so badly. And we've made a lot of plans on how to go about this.
How far am I in? Really not that far.
I mean, who wouldn't? This is the first time I've been assigned to a property like this.
I've been playing about an hour and this game's about 36 hours. Not really. The gist of everything that's gone on so far. So, the character what we're playing at the minute is Isabella. She's a real estate agent who's trying to sell this mansion. In the process of coming to the mansion, she went up into the... She tried to phone Rose, this character here. She couldn't get through. She then managed to get through and somehow heard attic. Like, I'm in the attic. So we went up to the attic to go see if it was her. We found this note, what they're all talking about, which is this one here. The help me, 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 help me. And once we saw that, there was this weird, ghoulish, kind of undead woman who was chasing us. We fell down the stairs, blacked out, and now we're just a little bit on trying to sell this mansion. And that's pretty much so far. I mean, who wouldn't? Oh,
I've sold
that's what I've been
plenty
said.
of houses before, but nothing like what we have here. It's a beautiful house. I'd love to get one of my own if I ever win the lottery. But I think... Look, here's the thing, Isabella. If we are going to do this, work on something, I don't know, this big, I need you in top shape. And the way you are now...
My mind stops.
What? Wait. No, I can still work. I just need to get myself together.
And Isabella's so intent on selling this mansion because she'll get a bonus from the Briar Realty Company, which is the company she works for, trying to do it.
That's what you said earlier. I let it go because I thought, hey, it's your own body and you should know more than anyone how you feel.
I think she's got the boobs for both of us.
But after this, I really think you should take a break.
You're kicking me out?
No, I'm not. Look, all I'm asking is for you to take a seat somewhere I can see you, and let me handle this for now. You're clearly not yourself, and I honestly could use some time not worrying when you'll fall over or not. The day's not even over, and I'm already feeling the stress. Please, humor me just this once.
She clasps her hand together in front of her, eyes pleading for understanding. And I do understand, to some extent. Doesn't mean I'll feel any less awful. Whether at myself, at the unlucky turn the situation has taken, or for her, I really don't know.
I promise I'll give you a full report of what happens after. I'll even let you take the lead tomorrow.
Fine. Okay. I'll step aside for now.
You're upset.
A little, yeah, obviously.
If it's any consolation, I won't tell the boss about today. You know how he is.
Please don't. I don't want a repeat of the lecture I got during my first assignment. He called me a noob, and I don't even know what that means.
How do you not know what noob means? And the memory we both burst into helpless giggles, earning us strange looks from the guests milling about the door. Talking and laughing like this, it's easy to forget any mishaps that happened. Little things you learn to appreciate, I guess.
So, are we good?
I'm still not okay with it, but Rose has a point. Better for me to step out for this one.
I won't be able to
for
help
now.
you anyways if I keep getting distracted like this. Maybe I'll just take a walk outside or something while I wait for you to wrap things up.
Please, just stay put. I insist.
I'm not an invalid, Rose.
You clearly have not seen how you looked earlier.
It's not that bad.
Color hasn't even returned to your cheeks yet. Just stay here, all right? Don't even think of going anywhere. Let me finish what I'm doing here, and then I'll take you back to Luxembourg myself to have that minor bump checked. At least wait for me to call someone who'll fetch you, okay?
She's gone before I can voice one word of complaint. Left with nothing else to do, I find myself drifting back to the foyer. Few visitors linger in the area, some merely enjoying the afternoon sunlight streaming through the stained glass windows. Others can be seen admiring the priceless antiques decorating the room. One group of elderlies gathering some ways across from me is occupied in a friendly banter about which one would cost more to buy. Not really. I wouldn't really say that. A little argument here, an occasional laughter and teasing there, a smile to myself. The conversation reminds me of what I've been missing the past few months. Rose is probably right, I do need a break. Maybe this afternoon hangout will help. Speaking of, recall Ash. A few hours earlier from what I told him, but he did ask for me to call him once I'm done. Besides, I don't have a ride back. He offered, so I might as well take it. Rose said she'd take us back. Or bribe him into giving me one. Not that he'll ever accept the latter, personal convictions and all. Honestly, if there's something I find admirable in him, despite his tendency to annoy the hell out of me, is that. Well, whatever way works, a free ride is still a free ride. There's Rose's offer too, but despite what she says, I know she'll be busy for the rest of the afternoon, especially without me assisting. Bothering her for a favour as small as this is just the last thing I want to do right now. For a couple of minutes and a few prayers asking for a decent signal later, the call finally connects and...
Shit! Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy.
He recorded his own ringtone.
Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers, watch out, can't beat me. Looking for trouble? Better not lie. I'm a cool dude, pretty fly for an Asian guy. Sup, I'm Ash from Deluxe City. Baggers,
What?
watch out.
Shit, how loud is this thing even?
Looking for trouble? Better not lie.
Sharp ringing fills the entire hall, disrupting the pleasant quiet that has settled. Soon enough, heads begin to turn and search for the source, mine included. My eyes dart around the small crowd before zeroing in on a lone figure crouched behind the same group of old people checking out the decors a moment ago. He is facing away from me, fumbling with something in his hands. But I don't need to see his face to know whose back it is. Oh, I recognize that dumb Parker anywhere. Without bothering to end the call, I march towards him. After what happened today, I'm really not in the mood to deal with this.
Of all the times to...
And why is everyone so pale? It's set in England, we don't get sun.
Ashton Frey!
Whatever happens next is something I'll surely regret for not having not recorded. He jumps, letting out an undignified yelp, followed by his phone slipping from his grip. It bounces from one hand to the other and is a poor attempt to catch it, before ultimately falling flat on the floor with a resounding clack. And so, it's in England, there's no sun in England, it's a well-established thing, and it's kind of anime-ish, so... feel sorry for the phone. And the floor. But it's not every day that you catch someone like Ash off guard and get a reaction. Damn stupid detective senses. He's a detective. I'll take every ounce of victory I can get, no matter how small. Ha! An awkward pause passes between us. A blink. A cough. He makes a face. And then, in a too quick motion, he ducks and retrieves his abused gadget while the grin threatens to break out from my lips. He doesn't meet my eyes when he straightens, but a flush has crept up around his neck and cheeks. Oh, he's embarrassed. In another universe where we haven't known each other for 5 years and suffering through his teasing isn't a day-to-day occurrence, chances are I'd find that adorable. So basically he's a dick, but you find him cute. Endearing, even. Unfortunately, this isn't that kind of world. The way things are, I'm already content to see him out of his obnoxiously calm and collected disposition.
Hello to you too, scaredy cat. I could stand to be greeted like a normal person, you know.
Ashhole.
What? And miss that look on your face? No way. Oh man, I should have taken a picture.
I am so honored you find this funny. Is that how you treat your guests? I think I need to talk to your supervisor.
Talk to yourself. You aren't even a guest here. What are you doing here in the first place?
For a moment, he looks like a cat that swallowed the canary. Suddenly checking every nook and cranny of his phone for any damage or scratches seems to be more interesting activity than explaining
Ash?
himself.
I could be looking to buy a house.
A mansion?
Yeah, why not? Did you see the view outside? It doesn't look haunted to me at all.
He's messing with me.
Ashton, I am not in the mood. What are you doing here?
He chances a glimpse at some point behind me. In the parlor? Curious, I follow his gaze, but before I can figure out what has caught his attention, he places a hand on my shoulder and turns me back to
I just
face him.
finished working on something, so I dropped by.
I still don't see how his work has anything to do with why he's here. In my confused look, he drops the hand resting on my arm, and it's like he has touched something particularly hot and casually rubs the back of his neck.
I said I'll see if I can pick you up. Turns out I can.
He likes
free
her.
time and all. So here I am. Figured you'd still be busy, and so I roamed around for a while.
Oh, you should have mentioned that sooner. I was about to throw you out.
Throw me? Hey, I was given a pamphlet. I think that makes me a legitimate client.
We have mandatory sign-in sheets for clients, Ash. I didn't see your name on it. And you can't just roam around because it says open house. Normal people actually follow an etiquette here.
Right, okay. I think I'll just go ahead and...
No, wait. I wasn't really going to throw you out. Rose said... Never mind. I was just about to leave anyway.
Wait, what? Now?
Something must have shown in my face because he pauses and gives me a long, hard stare. Sometimes I forget how easy reading people is for Ash, given how often he looks as if everything around him is a chore. I avoid his eyes, he'll drop the subject and won't ask me any more questions. Hoping he'll drop the subject. The last thing I want is to tell him what happened, especially the part about the letter. In fact, he's the last person on earth I'll ever think about telling it to, if I can help it. Sure, he's a dependable guy, God knows how many times he's helped me, even without me asking for it. But stuff like ghosts and the supernatural, he'll never believe in those. He'll never believe those, even if he hears it from a friend. Except maybe if it's Becca. On a good day, the most harmless thing he'll do is give you an explanation as to why things have no chance of being real. At worst, he's insufferable. He'll poke fun at you every single chance he'll get. Ashhole. What did I ever do to him? He never does that to Becca or Zach. I can already imagine how things would go down at the minute at the moment I spill a word of what I saw. Nope. Over my dead body. Before it catches his attention, I shove the letter deep into my bag.
Nothing. Let's just go.
Doesn't look like a nothing to me.
We still have Zach's movie tonight, remember?
It's still early. And didn't you say your shift will end around 5 or 6? What about... Hey, Isabella, wait up!
A rush of air greets me as soon as the main doors open. Not the usual autumn draft, but it's still a welcome change for the stifling atmosphere inside the mansion. Ash's footsteps are quick behind me, the soles of his shoes thumping hard against the polished concrete in an awkward cadence as he rushes to catch up. He calls out once, twice, 3 times a lady. The mansion still looms in the background, whispers calling me back, shadows beckoning. Because that's not unsettling. I don't look back. We spend the ride back to Luxbourne City in relatively quiet manner, with only the radio's disjointed hum in the background to fill the silence. Occasionally Ash will reach out to fiddle with it until the signal settles, or it's on a respectable volume, but otherwise he doesn't say anything. Neither do I. However, if the furtive glances he's been sending my way are any signs, I know there are things he's been itching to ask since we left the mansion. Jesus Christ. I keep my eyes trained on the passing scenery outside in a small hope that my disinterest will dissuade him.
Here.
All of a sudden, he tosses something at me from a small compartment on his side. It hits me cleanly on the chin before I can make a move to catch it. The small package makes a soft landing on my lap instead.
Sorry.
The glare I send him wipes the smirk about to form cleanly off his face. He clears his throat, focusing his eyes on the road ahead again. I swear, he did that on purpose. Ignoring him, I flip the half-forgotten package on my
I
lap.
won't say no to free food, but why are you giving away cereal bars?
I always have one on my person, and you look like you're about to pass out back there. Have you eaten lunch yet?
I don't even get a chance to deny it, but because right on cue, my stomach rumbles loudly, an empty, gnawing feeling in my belly becomes noticeable. No surprise there. I did skip breakfast and lunch so I could catch Becca while she was on break. I was hoping to get a small meal after. I guess with everything that's going on, I just forgot until Ash mentioned it. It's not like the hollow feelings new to me though. Holy fuck, I need to learn how to read better. If anything, it's just one of the things I've gotten used to ignoring over the years growing up. Thanks. Then I tear open the package and start nibbling on the edge of the bar. Apart from an acknowledging nod, Ash doesn't say anything after that small exchange. For that, I'm thankful. After getting an earful from both Becca and Rose, it's nice to be able to just sit down with someone who's not gonna nag at
How'd
you.
the open house go?
The usual. We got a bigger crowd than normal because of the property's fame, but really, no different from the typical open house. On second thought, it actually looks like a fancy party more than an open house. I've never felt so underdressed in my life. Weren't you there?
I wasn't really listening.
I should have asked someone to kick you out.
No, you won't.
And what makes you so sure?
One, ever since you got assigned to this property, you've been freaking out about it. Rebecca's words, not mine. She's been complaining to me about how you talked your ears off, by the way. Two, despite your initial qualms about the place, you still took the job. Which brings us to three. It's been months since you last settled a deal, and you're short on money right now since you're back to your instant noodle diet.
How do you even know about the last one?
Rebecca.
Figures.
Anyhow, you're hellbent on selling the mansion. Even if someone you know personally is in the tour group, you aren't going to just kick them out.
Well, you never know.
Every single person who went on your open house is still a prospective client to you. Even me.
He's not entirely wrong. Man, I walked right into that one, didn't I?
I hate you. I really hate you right
Jesus
now.
fucking Christ, hi. His answer is a small laugh, the kind that screams, I'm right, I told you so. I hate it when he does that.
I'll have you know that there's already someone who's extremely interested in this property. So even if you expressed any sort of interest in it, I don't think they'd be willing to let you have it. Too bad.
Provided I don't botch it with the rights. Why of all times did I have to screw up like that in front of important customers, no less? I owe Rose a big apology. I hope she likes free
You don't
donuts.
seem too happy about it.
I am happy. Doesn't this look like a happy face to you?
Really? And here I was thinking you found another one stuffed in the sofa. Or is it the wardrobe this time?
He meant that as a joke, but how close it is to the truth made my blood run cold, my own heartbeat, a heavy weight in my chest. All at once, the letter in my bag feels a whole lot heavier, burdened by my own guilt and apprehension.
Yeah, well, things happened. Stuff the right couple might not be pleased about. No need to make a fuss about it. It's normal in the business.
You made them angry?
Not angry, just stuff happened.
Like?
Things.
Did they do anything? Your clients, the Wrights, was it?
I can't answer that. At least not without revealing everything that took place in the attic. Change the
You keep
subject,
asking
don't
me
lie
about
to him.
my work, yet you haven't said a single word about yours.
Went up.
That's not fair. Both you and Zach have literally disappeared off the face of the earth.
An over-exaggeration, but changing the subject to something else is still better than outright lying to him. Besides, it never works with him. I'm not sure if it's because I'm just bad at it or because he's a really very good at his job. The grammar in this is weird. He doesn't answer immediately, only momentarily shifting a glance over at me and returning it back to the road when he has to make a sharp turn. Outside, the sun has already started its descent, casting vibrant orange glow on the tall buildings. I wonder how long before we reach the venue for Zach's film. Checking the street signs outside, it appears Ash has taken the longer route. Odd, but he's probably just trying to avoid the rush hour traffic.
Didn't we just talk a week ago over chat?
That's different. Linking your awful memes in the group chat box every morning isn't exactly a conversation.
It's kind of what me, Jane, and Nathan's conversation's like.
Excuse me, I don't hear you calling them awful while you're laughing at all of them.
Shut up! And you aren't answering my question.
And that earns him a soft punch to his arm. I did laugh at them. I mean, it's not like I'm going to give him the satisfaction of knowing that I find most of them funny. It'll only make his head bigger, stupid Ash.
All right. Lay off on the abuse. Remember that case I mentioned before? We've been trying to pin the bastard down, but it required more work than we anticipated. The guy's slippery like that. We got some good lead months ago.
He recounts what he's been doing in the time we haven't seen each other. His usual work, the occasional small investigation, and the big case he's been stuck working on. Stuff he couldn't mention in the brief time we catch each other online. Although most of it are the trimmed down. Most of it is the trimmed down version. Only things he can tell. He has always been careful about that. Even in the way he spins his answers to my question, just enough to satisfy my curiosity, but not enough to paint the whole picture. At one point, his voice takes on a strained tone when he mentions something about the big case, but I don't dwell on it much. Normal, right? I mean, who wouldn't be frustrated if you couldn't bring someone to justice? Because they keep slipping out of your fingers. If I were in his shoes, I'd definitely lose my mind. His stories never cease to be entertaining for me regardless. Things weren't the way they were back home, maybe I would have considered taking on the same job as him. Well, no, not really. Mama would never allow it. But the idea is still there, along with the countless others I've let go. Time passes quickly between us in this manner, and before I know it, we're already at the movie house. The non-important people. That wanted poster. That's another, like, weird anime-ish trope of if someone really isn't important within the scene, they just don't get a face at all. And that kind of looks like Marianne. Small crowd has already formed in front of the theatre where we arrived. The Life Fest, short for Luxbourne Independent Film and Theatre Festival, attracts a bigger crowd annually. And this is no different. I've only been to a few indie film screenings with Zach, so I'm not an expert at the matter. But I know for people hoping to make a break in the industry, getting your film recognised by a local event is already a big deal. Especially for a newcomer like Zach. He hasn't won an award, but just getting a confirmation letter that the festival committee wanted to include his movie in this year's lineup has already put a grin on his face for weeks. Speaking of the guy, he's impossible to miss. At 6 feet, he appears to loom over the most of the moviegoers, and with his large build and heavy voice, there's no surprise when people give him a wide berth as they pass by. It's often easy to mistake him for someone intimidating at first glance. I did back when I didn't know any better. Ash did too, I heard. Only once early in their friendship.
Oh, there's Zach!
Hey, you guys! Long time no see!
Zach's face lights up with a smile of his own. He moves towards us with careful steps, taking a significant effort to make himself smaller as to not bump or accidentally hit someone. Typical Zach. As he nears, Ash casually raises a hand in greeting and...
Sup, Z-Man? My main man! What's crack-a-lackin', my homie?
Well, that's not awkward. The awkwardness that descends within the immediate vicinity of our small group is palpable enough. Somewhere to our left, a girl giggles, and then do I become aware my mouth is hanging wide open. I'm almost amazed how Ash can say that out loud with a straight face. Almost. Considering his track record, should be used to it by now. Zach seems to be.
Stop trying to act black, Ashton. And you're the only one who calls me Z-Man.
There's fondness underneath the exasperated tone. If this were any other person, he'd likely be offended, but years of friendship and familiarity have made those words harmless to the other's ears. Or at least, enough for both to take it in stride.
It's been a while, Zach.
I hope you didn't get into trouble again.
Not much to get into trouble lately without you, I'm afraid. I'll let you know if something comes up, though.
Nah, I ended up with Chicken Down stuck on me last time I agreed. I'd really love at least this year to pass without some sort of accident happening again.
Hey, I take offense to that. It wasn't that bad.
You really have no idea.
A beat passes, and then Zach laughs.
Hey, I'm kidding! You know you can always count on me.
The story only the two of them are privy to, and every now and then Ash will enlist Zach's help on something. Becca and I never really found out what the real deal with those adventures, as Ash calls them, and both aren't willing to tell due to some unspoken agreement. She insists that if it's Ash, it's likely not something legal or life-threatening. Oh, something illegal or life-threatening, seeing as he's a cop. I tend to believe her on that, sometimes. Ah well, boys will be boys, I guess. I give Zach a small wave from behind Ash when his attention eventually turns to me.
Bella!
Hi!
Rebecca's not with you. Is she still sick?
A bit. But she's up and went to work this morning. You know she doesn't listen to anyone that's not Ash.
Yes, she does.
No, she doesn't. You're literally the only person she'll listen to when she's feeling stubborn.
And it's true, they've known each other far longer than any of us in the group. Childhood friends
But
after
don't
all.
worry, Zach. She's probably on her way here now. She promised she wouldn't miss your movie. Isabella! Oh, thank goodness!
Speak of the devil. Without warning, a hand grabs me on the shoulder and turns me
Becca,
around.
You're just in time.
I have to lean back a little with the way her face is almost invading my personal space. When she places a hand on either side of my head to keep me still, she stares at me intently, concern filling her eyes.
Becca, you're squishing my face. How are you? Are you all right? Why wouldn't I be?
Rose called me earlier.
The 4 words tell me all I needed to know, since I don't have family living close by, and the only other relative I have here works on the far side of the country. I gave my company Becca's contact number in case of emergencies. Should have known Rose would have called her. I push Becca's hands away from my face. Although she lets go, her eyebrows remain drawn together.
Oh, no, everything's good. Rose covered for me at work today.
That's not what I'm talking about. How's your head?
Besides me, Ash snickers. I bite back the urge to elbow him in place of trying to avoid Becca's hand. She tries to reach out for the said area. I do my best to dodge her, all at once moving to hide behind Zach. Sorry for using you as a human shield, Zach.
Oh, it's nothing. I just slipped off a few steps on my way down. I blacked out for a few seconds and had a minor bump, but it's just that.
You blacked out? It's not something to brush off. Come on, at least let me check it.
It's extremely minor. You wouldn't even know it's there.
Isabella, this isn't a laughing matter.
Well, I'm not laughing.
She did look pale when I saw her.
Wow. Thanks a lot, Ashton, you traitor. I'll get you back for this. Just you.
What? I'm just saying it as it is. If you mentioned this earlier, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now.
I'm sorry. Saw her?
Oh, jealousy.
Yeah, they arrived together. Bella looked fine to me then. I don't know.
Something crosses Becca's face, but it's gone before I can figure out what it is.
That's
Jealousy.
That's good. At least she didn't have to travel alone, right? At least. Good.
Good.
See? I'm okay. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. And I don't want to miss Zach's film.
We can always watch it some other time. Sorry, Zachary.
No, it's good. But you guys should really keep it down. We're starting to attract some attention.
It's the premiere. The premiere's different. Right, Zach?
I shoot him a bleeding look. Zach is a sensible guy. He'll understand. Please understand.
Not really. But Rebecca has a point.
Thanks, Zach.
In the end, I think it's your call.
Oh, for heaven's sake!
Please, Becca. I really don't want to miss it.
You're not missing it. Oh, we're just moving it on a different day so we can have a...
Post-jiggle physics.
Look, you guys.
Ash's loud sigh unexpectedly cuts through the conversation. He's pinching the bridge of his nose as he speaks, something he usually does when he's getting
If she
impatient.
says she's okay, then there's nothing we can do about it. It's not like we can stop her either. Besides, she's still acting like the same old Isabella to me, if she can still run around like that.
Why are you taking her side?
Oh, jealousy.
I'm not. But if she wants to watch Zach's movie with us, I'm not going to stop her. She's probably the one looking forward to it the most.
Ash, that's. You, of all people, should know.
Tell you what, if I notice something amiss with her, I'll take her to the nearest hospital myself. Is that good enough for you?
I already know the answer before Becca voices it out. When, at last, she releases a deep breath and nods, albeit with great reluctance, I immediately tackle her into a
Thanks,
hug.
Becca.
It's always been you with him, isn't it?
Excuse you?
Did you say something?
Me? Nothing. Don't mind me.
She's completely in love with Ash. Ash is completely in love with us, and we love all of them. Don't know about Zach.
If you say so.
Okay, guys, showtime's close, so I think I'm gonna get us some snacks. My treat. And then let's head inside. Anyone here has a smaller bill?
I think I do. Hold on.
I pull myself off Becca and to get my wallet bag.
What's
and
this?
Oh no. Fuck. Yeah, at the minute we're playing Isabella. We're actually controlling Isabella. And I'm assuming from this that might be the progression of the characters that we play. Am I a woman? No. No. But it's quite an easy thing to pick up on. That is a clear jealousy of his interest in someone else.
No! Give it back!
It's just a paper.
I don't care! Give it!
Looks ancient, too. Why do you keep this around?
I try to reach for it, but he holds the paper way above his head. I've never been particularly sensitive about my own height, but right now I really wish I had that advantage over him.
It!
So we're going to be able to show them the letter, which means that we've shown it to at least 5 people, but does it have a stipulation if I show it to more than 5 people?
What's the big deal? It's not like it's a love letter. I don't see any reason to... Hold on a second. This is, isn't it?
Even if it is, it's not for you.
Okay, now I'm curious.
I'm telling you, it's nothing like that. It's...
The rest of my words are lost when he unfolds the paper. Can't breathe. My heart feels stuck in my throat, pounding, threatening to burst out. Vaguely I note how my hands are trembling at my sides. Clasping them together doesn't do any good. They're still shaking, but I hang on to them regardless. The awful sick weight that has taken its core in my stomach back in the open house returns full force. How do I fix this? How do I fix this? How do I fix this? Come on, please. Today is turning out to be a horrible nightmare.
Send this to 5 people or else. Well, that's interesting.
Guys, I think we should listen to Bella first.
Aren't you a few days early for Halloween?
Good point. What date is it? Oh, it ends near Halloween. Ooh. Ash waves the paper in front of me, giving me a fleeting glimpse of its contents. I don't need to see it. I don't want to see it. The letters, the words, every stroke written in blood is already embedded in my mind. Maybe I should have just thrown it away when I had the chance. That way.
It's not a prank.
It makes all of them stop. Even I'm surprised with how steady my voice is.
What did you say?
This isn't a prank! I saw something!
Hold on. Are we still talking about this paper? Or is it about the urban legend again?
Kind of both.
Both. I know it sounds ridiculous.
You're saying this is a primitive version of a chain letter, and now that we've seen it, we're now cursed.
Maybe?
You've got to be kidding me.
See? This is why I didn't want to tell you guys.
Isabella, aren't you taking this a bit too far?
It's not a joke. Will you guys listen to me first? I saw something in the house earlier. It stood right in front of me. If I hadn't gotten away, that thing might have...
Right. And in broad daylight, Isabella. Even someone gullible would find the logic in that screwed up. There's also no way in hell that this supernatural shit is true.
You don't know, Ash. I know what I saw.
But it's real! What do you think I saw?
Hallucination? A delusion? Didn't you say you fell down some stairs? So maybe Rebecca's right.
Yeah, we fell down the stairs after seeing
It
it.
happened after, when I was trying to get away. I almost got stuck in the same room with that thing.
God, that is one angry looking face.
We're all in danger. I thought you were my friends. Why don't you believe me?
We are, and you know that. But this thing and that thing has got nothing to do with the other. When Rose called earlier, I thought she's just exaggerating. But based on what I'm seeing right now, maybe it's better if we really postpone this for now.
Don't bother.
Without another word, I snatched the letter out of Ash's hand and stuffed it back in my bag with more force than necessary. I'm tired. I got cursed, saw a ghost, probably lost the sale, got kicked out of the open house I'm supposed to be hosting, my own friends won't believe me, and all of them think I'm crazy. Top it all off, there's a dull ache in the back of my head begging for a little attention. I can't afford to give it right now. Honestly, there's only so much a person can take within a single day. I just want to go home, curl up in my bed, and never think about today. But before I can take a single step away from the group, Zach rarely ever raises his voice, even when there's a point he wants to drive home, and hearing him take on that tone completely throws me off. Even Ash and Becca, whatever harsh words yet to come from the argument, immediately die on our tongues.
Why don't we all calm down first? I'm sure Isabella has her reasons too. No need to be hard on her.
Yeah, Zach.
And hey, ain't this supposed to be a happy get-together? We haven't seen each other for months. I'd really love to know what y'all have been up to. I only ever get to talk to Bella over chat. Please.
He has a point. Ash, for all his attempts to look cool and distant, has also been looking forward to this. He even took the time to call this morning for a reminder. He never does that. Becca too, I'm pretty sure that's another reason why she got out of bed today. Yeah, despite Zach's attempt to lighten things up, or Ash and Becca's acquiescing gestures, the tightness in my chest remains. I should have just kept it to myself, or at least went with the idea that it's a prank. But things might not have turned out the way they had. No sour mood, no bad vibes. Careless, so careless. Maybe leaving is the better decision for all of us. No, I'm staying for this movie. Any other day, I'd excuse myself and go straight home. This is something special to Zach, something he worked on so hard to bring to life. I should know better. Plus, I don't want to split up with the group, because if this curse is real, I could get hunted down while I'm by myself. No thanks. Might be having a bad day, but with a few people I care about, far outweighs the idea of spending the rest of the day throwing a tantrum alone in my room. And what if the thing in the attic follows me home? Exactly my thoughts. New relationship status. Rebecca has gone down, Zachary's gone up. Sorry, Rebecca. Don't want to be left alone with my thoughts either. I can still see it whenever I close my eyes. Maybe if I stay, let our heads cool down first before telling them what happened, they'll listen to me. There's nothing you can't solve with a calm head. One step at a time, Isabella. That's what Mama used to say. Besides, I don't have the heart to ditch Zach. A smile is back on my face when I look back at them.
If we keep arguing here, we're going to miss the first few minutes.
All right, that's the Isabella I know.
Oh, good. I thought for sure you were going to cry.
Dickhead. This time, I really do send an elbow straight into his stomach. Stupid Ash, being vertically challenged also has its perks.
What was that for?
Stop calling me a crybaby! I'm not one!
Aw, don't cry.
See? That's what makes me think he's got an interest in us. He's kind of... From what we've already seen of his character, he's very childish. And he has that kind of childish mentality of, you know, the whole thing of, I'm bullying you because I like you sort of thing. Like, oh, I was being unintentionally harsh on that girl in the playground because actually secretly I like her. That's what's throwing me off, and she gets pissed anytime he has that sort of reaction around us.
Stop it!
Okay, scaredy cat then.
That too! If you repeat that, I swear I'll...
Let's just go.
See? Without another word, Becca goes inside. She doesn't even want to stop and wait for us when I call after her. Ash and I exchange looks. The same question likely swimming in our minds. Something happened at school after I left? She having a bad day too? I'll try asking her about it later, I guess.
So, you guys go catch up with her. I'll go get us the food I promised.
But you'll miss it.
Didn't you say watching a movie without food ain't fun? And it ain't like I haven't seen it. I made it, remember? I'll be in there soon.
One friendly tap on my shoulder and then he's gone. A few moviegoers are still milling about. Some are still waiting in the line for tickets, but otherwise most of the crowd is already inside. There's nothing much more for us to do here now. Not a word of protest comes from me when Ash gestures to the two of us to head inside.
And then?
Are you sure it wasn't one of the cleaning crews?
Absolutely sure.
Just give him a smooch. Kiss him already. Somehow, halfway through the movie, the conversation steered towards what happened in the mansion. To be fair, Zach was the one who brought it up again. His own movie premiere. Now, the film just serves as background noise while we're speaking in hushed tones, careful not to disturb anyone inside the small hall. Well, except for Ash. I just hope we don't end up arguing about it again, and we all get kicked out of here for sure. No, with how loud Ash's voice is, we'll probably get thrown out way before any argument happens. Only Becca still remains engrossed in the movie, completely ignoring us. She's been quiet the whole evening, speaking only when referred to. If I didn't know any better, I'd think we did something that offended her. Did we?
And then I ran. You heard what happened after.
I still think it's something else.
It was standing right in front of me, Ash.
He's one of the smartest people I know, but geez, he should learn to listen. Plus, he didn't say he doesn't believe in these things. Why is he having this conversation again?
I heard what you said, but it's a small room. There are a lot of things someone else could have done there without your knowledge. If I could see it up close, maybe I can...
I am not going back there.
Ain't that a problem if you're hosting an open house?
Rose does the first floor tour.
I ain't sure ghosts can be restricted to one room, Bella.
You don't know.
There are no ghosts, Zach. Stop putting useless ideas in her head.
Yeah, but I was thinking, maybe all the house needs is a blessing. Wasn't it left uninhabited for years?
Yeah. Oh, the house did change hands over the years, from one distant relative of the immigrants to another. That's also the thing. The people who owned the place, like, look at that. The people who owned the place, and the name of the mansion is the Ermengarde's Mansion. Ermengarde. None of them bothered to live in it, though. And it remained that way up until its current owners decided to sell it. Why didn't I think of that?
I didn't peg you as the religious type, Zach.
Nothing like that, Ash. Who knows, though? It might bring something positive to the place.
That's not a bad idea. I just don't know where I could find someone.
You're not seriously considering a suggestion, are you?
Do you have a better idea?
I know where. I could contact him for you if you want.
You'd do that?
Or we can find you a psychologist instead.
Ash, stop being a dick. There are very few times in my life where I wish my flowers can kill. This is one
Ash,
of those.
That is not a very appropriate thing to say right now.
No, wait, that's not what I meant.
Not what you meant.
Ethnographer. I meant ethnographer. This guy's a psychologist too, of course, if you...
Ashton, if you don't stop...
Rebecca knows the guy I'm talking about too. She can vouch for him.
Becca tears her eyes away from the screen at the mention of her name.
What? Oh, are you talking about Professor Andrew? He used to work with my parents at the university. Can you guys keep it down?
Sorry, the scaredy cat here mentioned curses. Not that I'm saying this is one, but talking to